Tonight, the House warns it may issue an arrest warrant against Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno in connection with the impeachment proceedings against her. The armed forces still in talks with communist rebels, even with President Duterte terminating peace talks. And the death toll in the bloodiest attack in Egypt's modern history reaches more than 300. These and more on The World tonight. Good evening, I'm Mike Navalio. Our top story, a collision course waiting to happen between the judiciary and lower house. The House of Representatives warns it may issue an arrest warrant against the country's defiant top magistrate if she continues to refuse to attend the impeachment proceedings against her. We'll give you more details on this later in the newscast. The military remains in talks with communist rebels despite President Duterte's termination of the peace talks with the CPP, NPA and DF. AFP spokesperson Major General Restituto Padilla tells DZMM local government executives are still keeping their doors open for an agreement with rebels in their areas.
May pagkakataon pa po talaga na bumalik sa normal ang inyong mga buhay at sana po bumaba na kayo. Yung local government niyo dyan, yung mga lokal na pamahalaan ay handang tanggapin kayo at kami makikipagtulungan upang mabigyan ng daan ang inyong pagbabalik sa maayos na buhay dahil nangako naman po ang ating Pangulo na bibigay niya lahat ng kakailanganin niyo upang makapagsimula muli.
Last week, Mr. Duterte issued Proclamation number 360, formally terminating the peace talks with communist rebels. He warned CPP leader Jose Maria Sison, currently in exile in the Netherlands, he will be arrested if he returns home. Sison, for his part, called the president a big liar and a political swindler for allegedly reneging on his promises, which includes bringing lasting peace in the country. The Bangsamoro Assembly kicks off in Maguindanao on Monday. Lorame Andong tells us stakeholders are anticipating intense discussions on the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law. The Marawi crisis may be over, but the children of the war-torn city continue to struggle. Cory Quintos tells us about the plea of Marawi children evacuees and how authorities are doing something about it. The Philippine Commission on Women and Technological University of the Philippines in Quezon City unveiled a new Android-based mobile app aimed at helping women in times of emergency. Vow-free PH can send alert messages to 3 pre-selected contacts regarding the user's exact location. Users can also tap the SOS button, which turns on the phone's flashlight and alarm to attract attention. PCW Executive Director Emeline Versosa calls on the women to never be afraid to speak out and seek help when they experience violence. Up next, Mumbai marks the 9th anniversary of the terror attacks. And in the U.S., Filipinos get into the Miss Universe fever to show support for the Philippines bet. These and more when The World Tonight continues. Welcome back. Going to our top story, the House of Representatives warns it may issue an arrest warrant against Supreme Court Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno in connection with the impeachment proceedings against her. Jackie Pascual has more. More than 6,000 bar examinees trooped to the University of Santo Tomas as bar exams end Sunday after 4 weekends. Michael Delizo has the details. Over in Egypt, the death toll in the attack that's now being called the bloodiest in the country's modern history rises to 305. 24 of the victims were children. Another 128 people were wounded. No group has claimed responsibility, but survivors say one of the attackers was carrying an ISIS flag. At least 30 armed men opened fire at worshippers at a mosque in northern Sinai last Friday. They blocked escape routes by barricading them with burning cars. In India, tributes are held across Mumbai Sunday to observe the 9th anniversary of the terror attacks which killed 168 people in 2008. 10 gunmen went on a rampage, attacking luxury hotels, a major train station, and a Jewish center. Meanwhile, Pakistan released the founder of the group linked to the 2008 attacks, Hafiz Saeed, from house arrest on Friday. The United States described the move as a step in the wrong direction for U.S.-Pakistan relations. The U.S. Justice Department labeled Saeed as a terrorist and offered $10 million in reward for information leading to his arrest and conviction. Myanmar prepares for the arrival of Pope Francis on Monday. The Pope visit will begin with a mass in Yangon. He will also meet with the country's de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi, as well as top Buddhist monks and military generals. He will head next to Bangladesh, where the population is 90% Islam. The pontiff's trip is aimed at promoting reconciliation, forgiveness, and peace. He tweeted his excitement over his 4-day tour, sending a message of friendship. The world will be closely watching the trip to see how Pope Francis will handle the ongoing humanitarian crisis and alleged ethnic cleansing among Rohingya Muslims. Over in Australia, protesters gathered in Melbourne streets Sunday in support of asylum seekers detained at transit centres on Manus Island in Papua New Guinea. Australia closed the Manus Island Detention Centre last month after a Papua New Guinea court declared the centre illegal. Asylum seekers refused to leave the centres, fearing for their safety. Melbourne police cleared the remaining inmates from detention Friday, effectively ending a 3-week protest by some 600 people who survived on rainwater, as well as smuggled food and supplies. The fight for a better life ends in tragedy for at least 31 African migrants after their boats sank on the way to Europe. This report has the details. Nepal holds its first provincial polls Sunday with hopes of bringing government closer to rural and remote areas. An estimated 3.2 million people are expected to take part in choosing their lawmakers in 7 newly formed states, including the National Assembly. Other parts of the country are holding elections on December 7th. The lawmakers who will be elected will have the power to name their states, draft provincial laws, and choose local leaders. The elections are a historic development following a 2006 protest that abolished monarchy in favor of a republic. In boxing, Mark Magnifico Magsayo scores a hometown win in Bohol after surviving a grueling 12-round war against Japan's Shota Hayashi. Magsayo pounded the Japanese fighter with left hooks and uppercuts, but Hayashi merely brushed them off, striking with power right punches. In the end, judges gave Magnifico the fight via unanimous decision. The win opens a possible shot against reigning WBO featherweight king Oscar Valdez. Meanwhile, other Filipino pugs in the main card were also victorious. Prince Albert Pagara sent Mohamed Kambuluta of Tanzania to the mat twice for a stoppage win in the second round. He now has 29 victories against 1 defeat. Geo Santino Santissima also made quick work of his foe, downing Indonesian Chang Kim in the first round. Filipinos converge in Las Vegas to show their support for Miss Philippines Rachel Peters as she vies for the Miss Universe 2017 crown. MJ Felipe is in Las Vegas. He filed this report. Now, still on the Miss Universe fever, fans show their full support for their favorite candidates through online voting. Some Filipino celebrities are also encouraging fans to support the country's bet, Rachel Peters. Details from Apple's Halandoni. The holiday season in Tagum City officially begins with thousands of residents joining the annual lighting of the city's holiday Christmas tree. Madonna Timbal has more. Our final word tonight is a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. Truth never damages a cause that is just. And that's the world tonight, the 26th of November 2017. I'm Mike Navalio. Philippines, thank you and good night. Mabuhay.